Hey y'all, it's y'all favorite cozy girl, Chi the Reality Queen, and I'm back again with another episode of Robe Chronicles. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 4. Yes, we are only 4 episodes in, but I feel like we are midway through the season. Like, it is just too much going on right now. I just wanted to apologize. I was unable to upload my last week's episode. It has been a very, very busy time for me. And I don't know what I did to my last video, but I messed up the sound and I just did not have time to edit and re record. So I'm so sorry. There is no episode 3. Anyways, this episode started out with Nneka picking up her husband from the airport because he does travel medicine. I'm not saying I don't believe that, but I'm saying it's more than likely not true. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I have never heard of a doctor practicing travel medicine outside of the context of like Doctors Without Borders or some type of NGO or, because working in 2 hospitals is actually kind of difficult, right? You have to be licensed in each state that you work in, and then you have to be licensed with the DEA license to give prescriptions at each hospital. And I'm sure it's not impossible, but it's just very difficult. And maybe he does do it. I don't want to doubt his skill set. I'm not saying he's not a skilled doctor. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying it's very complicated. What it kind of sounds like to me, and I could be wrong, is that he's still working wherever they used to live. But instead of saying that he works where we used to live, they're trying to be like, oh, he works there, he works here, and, whatever. But who knows? We don't know. Well, I don't know. Y'all might know. And if you know, tell me. But I don't know. um, Karen calls her while she's in the car to invite her to play pickleball. Pickleball is the hottest new sport out. It's really crazy because I think I first started hearing about pickleball from Survivor winner Tyson. I think he might have been the very first person I heard. And then, boom, everybody's playing pickleball. There's pickleball tournaments, like the biggest thing. And I just don't know how it caught on so quickly, but I love that. I have not played myself, but I think it's really cool that they're incorporating it into Housewives of Potomac. Um, then Nneka starts giving the backstory about Wendy and the cousin, and they show the cousin talking. And per me and my ears, I did not hear the cousin say something about the mother submitting the names to shrines. She said something about messiness, and I don't know what that second word was, but it didn't sound like shrines to me. It sounds like shrines to people via Twitter. That's what I'm reading. Everybody seems to have heard, or not everybody, a lot of people seem to have heard shrines. But what I do find wildly suspect is that they didn't show the cousin saying, her mom said she was submitting your name or my name to a shrine. I think that could have cleared up the content of that conversation very easily. Do I think that Wendy's mom called Lebe her cousin in law, right? Because there's a distant relationship. This is not her relative, this is her cousin in law. But do I think that her mom did? Yeah, I absolutely do. Especially because she knows her and she was friends, like they're family friends. But do I trust the content of the conversation? Not quite sure I do. I don't really trust it. I think that there have been exaggerations made just to prove a point. Then Ike talks about how Eddie unfollowed him on Facebook. And I find this to be a very weird thing, not because, so a lot of people are really focused on like, oh, Facebook is so old. Why do you even care? And yeah, one, he shouldn't care. But two, why? How did you know that? I have no idea, and I mean none whatsoever, for who's following me and who's not on Facebook because I just don't look. I don't look at all. And it just seems so strange that you clocked it because it's almost intentional. Or maybe you went in there and you guys were following each other. I went to college with a bunch of people I follow on Facebook, and I do not know them. I wouldn't be able to pick them out of a crowd. I wouldn't speak to them if I saw them in person. Like, legit, wouldn't even say two words to them if I saw them in person, because to me, I don't know them. And let's not pretend, because I know a bunch of you guys on Twitter are pretending, but let us not pretend that if you saw some of your followers via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook in person, you wouldn't say two words to them. And you want to know why? Because you don't know them, right? That's what you would think. You would say, oh, maybe I should say hi to this person, but I don't know them. Or you may not even know that you follow them or whatever, right? So I think it's very dishonest for us to be like, oh, he knows him. They were friends. Why did they only show the ad? Why don't they show interactions, photos of them together? They supposedly went to school together. I mean, if I went to school with somebody and I was friends with them, I would be able to pull up a photo and be like, this is me and so turning up at the function. It would be that simple, not a Facebook page that shows add friend, follow back, whatever it showed. That to me, I'm not buying it. I think that Nneka and her husband are just looking for trouble. That's just all I see here. It doesn't make any sense. Giselle and Robin meet for dinner. And I find this, despite all the drama of this episode, I find this to be the most interesting conversation that takes place on this episode, because Giselle talks to Robin about how Juan had words with her. Juan Dixon had words with Giselle Bryant. And she wasn't uncomfortable. She didn't feel some type of way, even though Juan was yelling at her. And she brought this point up to Robin, and Robin, delusional Robin, said, oh, he wasn't yelling. He has a hearing problem because of coaching, because he's always yelling when he coaches. So that's just how he talks now. Y'all talking about Nneka, and Delulu Rob is running around telling people that her man has a hearing problem because he yells while coaching. Y'all, I my mouth dropped open when she was saying that. And Giselle took that crazy excuse and was like, I just wanted to let you know, and I don't want to make a big deal out of it. And I'm just like, what? No, no, make a big deal, because let me tell you, my friend couldn't tell me that story. My friend couldn't tell me that story. My friend could not tell me that story. I'm not saying that I wouldn't give my friend grace, because obviously that's my friend. I would obviously 100% give them grace for they man acting up. I would, because they're my friend. However, you're not going to be able to say my man can't hear because he yells because of coaching. When your man yelled at me, I'll be like, no, 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 B word. You need to check your man, and he is never going to yell at me again. Get that together. I'm not saying it has to be that rude or that stern, but you definitely have to get your friend together. But Giselle let that shit slide. And I'm like, you're raggedy. And this is why I believe, and this is hard for me to say, because despite Robin's behavior these past couple seasons, I like Robin. I really do. But they have to get rid of her. They have to. It's the only way the show works. Right now, Giselle can lean so much into Robin and not deal with people she doesn't want to deal with. You get rid of Robin, Giselle has to play nice, because she doesn't have a person that's not going to ice people out with her. Ashley talks to everybody, even Candace. They beef, but they always come back. I mean, they don't like each other, but they always come back. Mia, she beefs with people and she comes back. So if you get rid of Robin, who will play that game with Giselle of icing people out, you now completely cut off that way of them working together, right? And I like Robin, but she got to go. It's the only way. She could be a friend of, rarely. She got to show up as much as Charisse does. Um, and that's next to never. And we just got to really see how the rest of the cast shakes up. I also say get rid of NECA, maybe bring in someone else. Right now, well, you know what? I say that today based on 4 episodes, but maybe around episode 8 or 9, I'll like NECA. I'm hoping so because she is Nigerian, she is Igbo. I want to get there. I just have not gotten there with her, and maybe by episode 8 or 9 I will. But right now it's bye bye Robin, bye bye NECA, in my opinion. Then Robin also starts telling Giselle about what um, NECA told her, and this is how I know that NECA is messy because I mean, yes, it's a reality TV show. But how do you go and meet somebody for the first time? You're sitting down to dinner with them for the very first time because you just met them. And the first thing you're doing is gisting, like just gossiping, just bringing somebody's name to smear it. That's the first thing, the very first thing. And it's very, very erotic of her to do because why? Why was that the first thing? You didn't even have to be on that type of time. You could have been there and be like, hey, girl, I'm so happy to be here with you. I've heard the drama about your husband. Girl, what's going on? You good? I want to be your friend. I want to be there for you. I have my drama with Wendy, but we trying to work through it, or I'm going to bring it up with her. But no, that's not what you did. You immediately smeared old girl's name. And then now she's going and running and telling stuff. And see, that's the thing that bothers me. You just met this girl. You just met her. Yes, you don't like Wendy, but you just met this girl. But her word is bond. Like, who works like that? Who meets somebody for the first time and what they say is fact? I would have been like, even not liking somebody, if I meet somebody for the first time and they tell me something about my enemy, I'm going to be like, but I don't know you, and you telling me about my enemy so willy-nilly, you might be my enemy too. So I got to be careful. You got to be careful. And I just feel like there's no care being taken here. Um, then we see Candace and her mother at the house. I have missed Candace's mom. It's funny because for a psychiatrist, she used to do a lot of damage to her children. Like the stuff she would say, imply, was pretty harsh for a mother. But at the same time, her comments were a little funny. So we kind of excuse it, right? It's not as I mean, her comments were at least kind of funny, unlike when we see LD on Salt Lake City. Her comments are funny. They're just mean, just mean comments to her daughter. Don't get me wrong. Candace's mom can teeter that line of mean, but also some of her comments are funny. Her mom asked her about Chris, or well, she tells her mom about Chris being upset about how much money they're spending on tour and all that type of stuff. And, the mom asks about Chris working and what he's doing. And she still don't like that man. It's so obvious. It's so obvious she does not like him. I mean, she manages him, the daughter loves him, and I think that's important, but she does not like him. Um, then her mom asked her about her and Robin's relationship, and it's so clear that the mom likes Robin. And it's funny how the parents, and this is why I think it's weird that they're letting NECA smear Wendy's mom's name, because the parents don't really get involved with the beef like that. Whereas Ashley's mom was like, hey, call Candace, invite her to your event. Don't be mean. That was her deciding not to involve herself, right? Like, Candace, don't beef with her. The same way Candace's mom is coming to her about Robin, like, hey, like, give her a chance. Like, you don't have to like beef with her. Obviously, they probably like each other because they're sorority sisters, which does make it interesting that Wendy and Giselle can't get along despite being sorority sisters. I thought we were supposed to, like, as members of the same organization, at least pretend for the public. Like, dang, y'all can't even pretend? Like, what's going on here? I thought that was standard, right? I guess not. Um, But it was funny because Candace is basically upset, with Robin. And she was trying to be like, I don't know why she's not, talking to me. And the truth is, Candace, you were pretty harsh to Robin, who was your friend. I understand the harshness because she was still riding behind Giselle. Yes, she denied. She said, hey, I told Giselle she was doing too much, whatever, whatever. But ultimately, that was your key partner, and Candace took that personally. Um, and then I think the comment that she made at the reunion where she said, can we all just agree men shouldn't be with women in hotel rooms, was really triggering after it was found out that her man was in a hotel with a woman. So it's like, who knows? I hope they kind of get back good, because again, I don't like the cast being so cracked as it is. But like I said, it's Robin still has to go to me. We'll find out. We'll see how it goes this season. Um, and then it was funny because her mom was like, or Candace was talking to her mom about Robin. She's like, adults don't lie. And her mom was like, girl, adults do lie. Everybody lies. Everybody lies. Let me say that. I think that all of these women, including my fave, the Grand Dame, they all lie. They all deflect. They all, you know, don't want to be as authentic as they probably should be, right? And if you say that your fave doesn't, you're lying, right? Like, I love the Grand Dame. I love Karen Huger. I swear I will ride for her, but she deflects and she lies, just like the rest of these women. And that's what they do because who wants to be seen in a negative light? No one, right? That's normal. Um, so anyways, the pickleball event starts. Karen is skeptical of Jason and Giselle's relationship. She said, at least Jamal lived in the phone. Jason living out of space. I don't know why that's so funny to me because it's like, I have heard of this relationship. They showed it on episode 1, and then they have not acknowledged it since. Like, no FaceTimes, no nothing. I mean, we're only 4 episodes in, but if she goes international and doesn't call that man, I'm going to say it's fake. Okay. Okay. I'm going to just say it's a Bravo relationship that they're trying to cross shows and people and whatever. Yeah, because it's not. Mm-mm. Um, um, yeah, so Mia shows up, which was weird because I don't know if anybody noticed that Mia and G showed up in separate cars and like walked in together, but they did not come together. I'm hoping they must have come from different places or had different things to do afterwards, and that's why. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. Mia and Karen still aren't hugging, but she did give her the little fake double kiss. Candace says it's F Jizzy forever, so that hasn't been resolved yet. Um, Karen decides to split the teams by enemies, right? So if you have beef with somebody, that's how the teams are split. So Ashley, Giselle, and Candace were on one team. Like, that's messy. Um, Giselle said she stated her case and she's done with Candace. I kind of hate that because I feel like you wrongfully came for someone and then continued to come for them, well into this year. And you're wrong. Like, I think what Giselle should do is apologize. That's what she needs to do. And I think if she apologizes, her and Candace can be good. I think she really needs to be like, I may have misremembered due to tequila how this went down. you know, Ashley used her excuse and she stuck by it. I may have misremembered due to the amount of tequila I was consuming how the conversation with me and Chris went. But you know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have doubled down. I was so convicted. And then when that Muppet came, I shouldn't have sided with her. And see, that's the problem because these women will take anybody who is against their enemy and side with them. I know the saying is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't believe in that. The enemy of my enemy might be an acquaintance at best. We gonna see, right? You gotta confirm. You can't just be taking anybody in because they hate who you hate. I might hate you too, right? But Giselle and Robin don't think like that. If they hate you and you hate them, then they believe in the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's not me. Um, and then Robin walks in. Karen immediately came for her fit. And she was like, what the hell is Robin wearing? She goes, vagina on display. Put it back. Nobody wanted, not even Juan. Now, Kern, Grand Dame. Now, you know that's shady. I bet she even told them to delete it. Like, come on. Okay, this is really important here. The outfit she was wearing was real sexy, okay? Robin does not dress sexy. This whole season, the 4 episodes we've seen, Robin has been trying to be a little looker, okay? Robin is a very beautiful woman. I think I have said that every time, almost every episode. She is so beautiful, but she doesn't like dress sexy or do things that are sexy. When Wendy did this last season or 2 seasons ago, they said she was doing it because her man was out in them Instagram streets. So why is Robin doing it? If Juan did not cheat and was just helping a nice person, I wonder if he was yelling at the girl because he couldn't hear. But all of a sudden, Robin's outfits are getting a little more bodycon, a little more sexy, a little bit more see through. And no one is addressing that fact. No one's calling her out. No one's saying, like, hey, you wore a dress and heels to Giselle's backyard when in the past you would have worn sweats and sneakers. Like, why are we not talking about the real thing? Y'all trying to distract me with NECA and Wendy. I don't want to be distracted anymore. I want to talk about the important things, okay? Because Robin coming va va voom to pickleball in front of all these other men, someone should have called her out. Someone should have called her out. I saw that. I was like, is that see through? What is Robin doing? What is Robin Dixon doing? And I want answers. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, Karen makes a speech about how all the women aren't in a good space and that Robin showed up, even though now this was weird because Robin starts getting mad. Like, why are you saying my name? Why are you? She wasn't saying anything bad. Do you see how Robin gets aggressive without any justification? She literally was saying, despite us not being in a good place earlier, we've worked on it. She showed up. She's here. So let's, everybody should follow that same lead. Nope. Robin couldn't take it. As soon as she heard her name, baby, you're defensive because your man is a cheater. That's why you're defensive. So anything anybody says about you, you about ready to fight back because you fighting for your man. Like, calm down. Calm down. It's okay. She didn't say anything bad about you, but you already hyped. You already hyped. Calm down. Okay? Baby, calm down. Calm down. Okay, I'm not gonna sing for y'all. Uh, then Ashley publicly admits she made a mistake about the whole Osu thing. And then they ask her, like, um, and then, everybody was like, okay, well, then does that mean you and NECA are good? And NECA's like, well, I don't really know her that well. And I guess they're both talking at the same time, right? That's the way it looks. It looks like they're both kind of talking at the same time. And Wendy says, uh, I no, NECA says, I don't really know her well enough to not be good. And Wendy says the same thing. And she's like, oh, you're just repeating me? Okay. What is going on? Why are you so hype? Then she was like, well, I heard about the call. Wendy's like, what call? And she was like, the call where your mom called and said she submitted my name to a shrine. A shrine. I'm like, girl, if you say shrine one more time, someone should pop you in the mouth, okay? Just stop it. And then I don't know how the conversation got from that to Wendy saying that Nneka is jealous of her, but I think so. I do. I know a lot of people may not think so, but I do think so. I think she's mad that Wendy maybe is living the life that she thought she would be living. She has the kids, she has the man. I mean, Nneka has a man, but she don't got the kids. She's on TV as a political correspondent. She's doing big things. You know, Nneka just finished law school. She claims to be working. We don't know that for sure yet, right? Um, she just got married just a year ago, like, right, like, I'm just saying that Wendy is where she wants to be, as it seems. I don't know for sure, I'm just saying Wendy is where she wants to be, and she's just not there yet. And I think these are spaces that Nneka can get to. She's just not in yet, right? Like, she could definitely get there, she's just not there. But anyways, they are going back and forth. Karen goes over to Giselle and is like, "This is your fault." And I just love how they can be frenemies. I love it. I love it. It's probably the best dynamic of the show, that they are frenemies at all times. Best dynamic. And like I said, Wendy and Nneka are going back and forth. All of a sudden, Nneka's like, I mean, Wendy's like, "It's a flop. It's a flop." Again, what is a flop? Who knows? I don't know. Uh, Whatever. um, and Wendy says, "You know what? You know who I do want to work it out with? I'm going to work it out with Mia." And she gets up and she pulls Mia to the side, to talk with Mia. And honestly, everybody's like, "Oh, it's deflection." Yes, it's deflection. But also, Wendy and Mia had spoken last season after the whole drink thing. They only kind of fell out again because of the reunion and how things went there. So I don't think it's kind of so random that her and Mia would have another conversation. I don't think so. I think that it's normal. I think that, you know, they should. Um, so they talk, and I guess they come to a decent resolution or whatever. And she called Mia slow, and people are like, "Oh, she called her slow last week. Like, why does she want to resolve with her?" Just because she's slow don't mean she can't resolve with her. I'm pretty sure Katie called Ashley dumb, ditzy, slow, stupid, idiotic, so many things, but they always came back. This is just the brand of the show. You gotta talk about some people some way sometimes. But in a funny way, right? Like, it has to be funny. If you're just saying things and it's not funny and it's just mean, I don't really care. Um, then they come back. Nneka's talking to the rest of the group, and Candace is like, "I think you guys should rectify your two Nigerian women who are like really doing it, and there's really no reason for y'all to be beefing. And the Nigerian community is small." And Nneka is like, "No, because she's like, I don't have beef with her. Even now, I don't." And blah, blah, blah. And then I don't know what happened, but Juan Dixon knocks over the little, what are those things called? Those little pots where you put the fire underneath to keep it warm. And a fire starts. Well, obviously, because he knocked over the fire. And here comes Ashley talking about, "This is that witchcraft." But honestly, Nneka brought it, not Wendy. Um, then Karen starts going in on Juan, like, "I can't believe you came to ruin my event. You're an athlete. You shouldn't be making these types of mistakes." And I don't know, it was funny. But what's funny is that despite the drama, Karen and Juan could still laugh and joke and whatever. Why are these women holding these grudges so long? Like, if I made a comment about your husband and you're mad about it, but your husband is not, mm, I don't get it. Clearly, Karen and Juan could laugh and joke. So, Robin, why are you mad? I mean, yes, they've technically rectified at this point, but it's like, there really is no reason to be upset. Um, then I think that when Juan knocked that fire over, that was God letting everybody know that Nneka ain't telling the truth. Because it was when she was talking that the fire started. God was like, "Let me get up in this room and let these people know what's going on. Y'all talking too much about witchcraft and shrines and stuff. I gotta come and take over the room." But yeah, anyways, but what I do love that Wendy said, she said, wait, favor ain't fair because God was working overtime for me and clocked out on lunch for you. Come on, Wendy. Now you know that was a line. I loved it. Love that. Okay. Do you see my excitement? Because she did that with that line. The it's a flop line wasn't really there. But saying God was working overtime for me, but clocked out for lunch on you, I'm going to say that to people. I put it in my Rolodex. I'm saying that. Okay. Um, then NECA starts talking about how Eddie uh, unfriended Ike after after the whole call thing. And everybody was like, wait, what? Because, everybody's like, wait, they know each other? They know each other? Blah, blah, blah. And Eddie was like, wait, I know him? Now, I don't know if these two men knew each other, like I was saying earlier. But Eddie did not come off like he was faking meeting that man. And the fact that he even went over and was like, I know you, like, we know each other, like, he really came off like he did not know him. First of all, if Eddie is the 38 or 39 that I think he is, maybe 40, I don't know exactly how old Eddie is, that means he graduated college latest '08. Latest '08. That is now 15 years ago. Now, if I didn't really talk to you in college, or I saw you and then we have 15 years in between, you don't even live in the same area, I haven't seen you, we've just kind of been our own separate ways, it is very likely that I may not remember you. Now, the unfriending situation, I still don't know what is the deal. I need someone to come back. I like Eddie's page doesn't look like it's been touched by my standard. It looks old. So it's like if he unfriended you, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, Ike. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. Then they start arguing and and Ike's like, oh, you don't know me? You don't know me? Da 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 da. I'm like, oh, aggressive much? Then NECA's trying to talk and Ike starts yelling at her. That is a weird relationship because the only other person I think I've seen yell at their spouse or yell towards their spouse on this show is Robin Dixon. And what? When he was saying his whole little spiel, oh God, I can't say that word. When he was saying his whole little thing about if it wasn't for the kids, and when he left her at that little garage that she was renting with the hats. Yeah, it was a couple times actually. But yeah, that tone, I don't be like your namesake, boo. Praying that that's not the case. Anyway, but yeah, they're NECA and her husband are just very aggressive people. I forgot to mention earlier she had called Wendy the B word. It was so aggressive. She was like, I'm trying to clear it up. And then Wendy was like, clear it the F up then. And she goes, I'm gonna clear it up, B word. I'm like, girl, I don't know. She's a very aggressive character. Her husband, same. I'm not a fan of either of them. I just to me, it seems so manufactured. It's so deliberate that they came to cause a problem with Wendy. I don't know why. I feel like Wendy already has her beef with some characters on the show, but it is such a maybe deliberate and nasty ploy from production. And I'm just like, it's not landing. No. If you could scrub the rest of the season without her, I'm sure you can't. It's been edited and whatnot, but don't do this again, production. It's not good. We don't like it. I'm seeing that there are a few NECA fans out there. Um, I mean, but the truth is, there's always going to be someone that likes everybody, right? I don't think there's a castmate yet that everybody can confirm that we all hate them. I don't think there's anybody like that on any Real Housewives, Married to Mad, Winter House, Summer House. Like, I think there's always someone that likes someone, right? Like, it's never unanimous. But yeah, this season, I don't want to hear about Nneka and Wendy's drama again. I know it's not finished because this episode kind of cut off, but I really, really hope that we focus on other things. Please, please, please. I do not want to hear about them. Like I said, I know we will a little bit more, but I don't want to hear it anymore. I think it's like, it's over to me. I'm over it. Like, either squash it and talk to her or don't talk to her, but I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about no shrines. Candace said it correctly. What Mama Susan does is not what Wendy does. Like, if she gave you her number and was willing to talk to you and deal with you, that's the only gesture you should have taken. Or you could have called her and said, "Hey, you know your mama called me talking crazy. What's that about?" And y'all could have squashed it however y'all felt, but this is too much. I don't know what you guys are feeling. How are you guys feeling about this season? Where do you think it's going to go? Do you think that we're finally going to get to a place where people can deal with each other? I'm just really curious and interested in what you guys want to see more of. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with me what you guys are thinking, share with your friends this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.